All right, everyone. Good morning to you all. I am back. I have kind of collected myself, and we're going to basically hit the reset button. I deleted those previous videos because I did not like what was happening, and this is going to be maybe more of the same, or a maybe I'm going to turn a new leaf. I don't know. But before we begin, I'm going to click this little button here. And welcome again, everyone. I'm going to begin drawing, and this time I'm going to kind of just take it slow. I need to take it slow and just kind of get back to the basics. What would you say? What was I doing? I was really over focusing on like these micro things. So let's not see that. I'll keep that. The hair. What I need to do is let's so I know what this is. I keep trying to figure out what that is, and we gotta label this so I know what it is because I have so many layers here. Okay, now what we have is yeah, okay. Let's start all over again. What we're going to do is we're going to start with just simple flat tones. Let's just go simple right now. We're going to keep it simple. We're going to keep it simple. We're going to start with flat tones instead of like feeling desperate, right? Like I was earlier this morning. I think after just kind of stepping away from a second, kind of getting a little thought process going on, I have an idea of what I want to do. Don't know yet, right? But we're going to establish some flats. I think I got to do that. I was just thinking to myself, there's got to be some flats here that I'm working with. I'm just going to have to work with them, okay? Going to have some flats. And then I want to see what happens. Now, I don't know what I'm doing fully, but I'm going to do what I have been doing with my portrait drawings that have been seemingly working, and I'm going to try to reverse engineer it and apply it to a cartoon. Now, the other thing that I've been doing, which is, I don't know what that other thing is, but it's there. Uh, is this part of this layer? There we go. Let's erase that. We don't need that. Get it out of here. We're not working on that right now. We're just going to work on getting some of these tones in of what I think is the darker tones, or where the darker tones of the pig will be at. We'll work with that. Now we're going to go light, light. Now we can always change the color later. Right now, a little bit of light here, a little light here, maybe some light here. Right now we're going to work with this. I think the reason why I was one of the reasons why I'm apprehensive of doing this is because these, like I like experimenting with the color a little bit, and I don't know, I just like experimenting with the color. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try using where is it? The hard edge transparent brush that I have here. And we're going to do something like this. Now we're going to take this mid-tone and we're going to go over here. And then that's going to go over there. We do the same to this. Do the same. Oops. Already. So basically I'm just doing a bunch of color testing and just doing like a hard edge transparency over. We need to not do that. That the habit of doing those layers, doing everything. I'm not separating my layers again, but I need to get in the habit of separating the layers and separating those layers and making sure that they function well. Okay. Just playing around, you know. I'm gonna work it through, and hopefully it comes to something. This is not a new process, but it's definitely something I was trying to avoid. I don't know, or maybe not avoid, but like wasn't apparent. It wasn't clear to me that this might be the simplest way for me to establish those tones. It's still, it's better than nothing, because what I'm going to do is I'll use a soft airbrush to kind of define these later, but right now I'm just trying to practice this transitional tone method that I learned or kind of briefly glossed over, and it's kind of working. It's kind of not. Yeah, so already I'm feeling a little bit more satisfied with this, even though that first morning session was really bad. I was not I wasn't pleased with it, which is why I deleted it. I didn't want it online, like, it's so bad. Like, I didn't wanna be like, I didn't want to have a video that showed me in that bad a light. Like, I don't mind. I make a lot of mistakes. No, don't get me wrong. I make a ton of mistakes. I make so many mistakes. It's not even funny. Like, that's all I do is make mistakes. But you don't wanna be making mistakes the whole day, you know? You don't wanna be doing that, right? That's all I do is make mistakes. My day entails me making mistakes. Like, that's all my days is, like, one mistake after another. But I was just really, really fed up with it. I just didn't want I just needed to back away for a second and maybe collect my thoughts. And this is probably a better way, even though it's still a little more jarring than I'd like it to be. Trying to, even though it's not exactly where I want it, I think it's yielding a little bit different, better result than uh, than the other one. Even though it's still kind of it's kind of like icky at the moment. It's going to take a little bit of manipulation. What one thing that I need to think about is like how can I make the lights seem more vivid without like I don't know. I'm gonna have to work on that. And what if I were to do like a pink on the lips here, right? And what if I were to do because the eyes got that purple. If I get that little purple, put the purple around it again, and we blend that in there. Okay, so things are getting a little bit better. And then I might have to use like the soft brush. Okay. Okay. Things are making a little bit more sense. So what we're going to do is do something like this. And then we'll do something like that. All right, so now things are working-ish. Kind of-ish. Kind of yes, kind of no. So I'm using the hard edge brush to kind of whatchamacallit. But yeah, it's a lot better in like 30 seconds. Uh, it was so stupid. Oh, I'm sorry I cursed. Or like, gosh, it was so simple. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. So simple. Now I made it into a giant molehill. You know, I really did. Or maybe now the challenging part is unifying all this together. So maybe it's not going to be as simple as I think it is. So let's try. Let's go with the soft round brush here and see if I can kind of smooth things out, and then I'll add back in jagged stuff. I want the the mouth to be kind of red. So I'm going to put that there, and then I'm going to take this and make it darker in the bottom here. You can always erase that. Okay, so now things are going in a direction, but it just took me the whole darn morning, and unfortunately, I'm not going to work on this tomorrow. I'm going to have to stop it, and work on it another time. The clock's not showing on my computer because I took it off. So it just took me a while to kind of really get this going. And it's unfortunate that it took me going back to the basics to really figure out what I want. Although I just don't like how soft it is. Maybe I just need to think like maybe I do the softness first and then I go in and add the jaggedness later. I don't know. That might be that might have been the reasoning why I didn't want to do it this way, and I probably should just start it this way. Gosh, hindsight. Because it looks a little bit better. It's not getting the contrast that I wanted, and what I'm worried about is the things probably need to be darker in order to really get the contrast that I'm looking for. And so that's what I'm kind of looking at right now. So I'm not, because what happens if you just don't want to add like white, you know, on the areas you need a little bit, it needs to be better than that. You don't want to make it whiter because it doesn't look real. It looks like plastic. But we're, I think, getting somewhere with it. It only took an hour and a half of making mistakes. I think that's a record. Yeah, it only took that long. I don't know why it does that. Okay. I keep saying we're getting somewhere, but now I'm kind of lost, so I got to figure out where I'm going wrong. Again, it might be contrast, might need to make everything a little bit darker. Right, so maybe do something like this. It was not that. And then take this and reintroduce it a little bit. I don't know why it does that whenever I shrink the brush, but whenever I scale it up, no problem. No problem at all. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing now. So I'm just trying to, I'm just gonna keep fiddling with it and try to play around with the tones. Maybe need to go back and do a little bit of the hard edge again. And see where that takes me. yeah, so just keep playing around with it for 15 minutes or so, and then I'll come back to it. But now that I have a little bit more experience and understanding what I needed to be doing, I'm feeling a little bit more confident. But before I was just a mess, no joke. I was really, really struggling there for quite a moment, and it was causing some issues. No, no, for real, because I was I don't know, really have no like so like I'm trying to play around with the hard and soft brush a little bit and see how I can manipulate it. I don't know how to. Maybe there's a way to do like quick keys, but right now I can't. I don't know those. And again, all this is very new. All of it is very new. So like if you see me like you just guys know what he's doing, like you're right. I don't know anything that I'm doing. I'm just lucky that everyone's like you should be able to, it should be like all user friendly. No, man, it's not. For me, it's never like this is easy. This is going to be a piece of cake because you know, it's never like it's never an easy thing for me to kind of figure out these strategies. And it's very frustrating. Like it's going to take me a while to really I thought I would have it done. Like if I had been drawing like this at the beginning at the beginning, like if I had been drawing like this at the beginning of the 2 hours that I started this, I would have been way more pleased with myself. I would not have deleted the video, actually. I wouldn't. I wouldn't have deleted it. I would have kept going. But right now, so let's continue. I got let's go to set a timer right now. I'm gonna go set a timer right quick, and that way I know I'm gonna set for 15 more minutes and then call it a day because I gotta get going. So I'm gonna set the timer set 15 more minutes and I gotta go. But it's already looking better. Um, and it was just as I was saying, I just had to tweak something. I just had to change one thing, and everything, the dominoes are going into place. So now things are kind of working. So like I do understand how things work, but like it just takes me a moment to kind of really figure it out. And so it's working. I understand a little bit. Things are kind of working. I think what I'm gonna have to do after this is like prior to my next drawing session is probably sit down and like organize my layers because that's one thing that I'm not really good at doing either. So I'm just gonna keep playing with the hard brush right now because I think I'm having the most success with it right now. Um, Especially like the hard fade brush. This is like a brush that kind of fades. I don't know why it's doing that again. Before it wasn't. It stopped for a brief moment, but now it's back. So it's back. It's doing its silly thing. Um, so it just took me 2 hours essentially to kind of just think about what I was doing wrong a little bit. And unfortunately, the problem was when I'm drawing live, you can't just like stop and be like, what am I doing wrong? Like right now, I'm stopping and thinking, well, what did I do wrong? Like, what am I? And then I thought, and I was like, well, what was working for me with my portraits was I was doing the flats and then kind of merging them together. And I was like, well, I didn't do that at all for this. It's like, why didn't I do that? I was like, well, because it's a different drawing. Different, does that mean the strategies are different? And I tried to think about like, why can't the strategies be the same? Why can't the drawing technique be kind of similar? And so, lo and behold, here I am doing a very similar strategy drawing technique on the as I did with the portraits. So just needed to tweak something. Just needed to tweak a few things, and here I am getting somewhere, unlike before where I wasn't getting anywhere. And geez, wow, what a simple game changer is just tweaking that your strategy just a little bit. I don't know why. All right, this is just simple, 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 simple. I was so stupid. Gosh, I was so stupid. I can't believe it. Now things are. Now I have like a heading of sorts. You know. Now I have some kind of working. Although I think I'm giving it like a 5 o'clock shadow. But I think the reason why is I want to have that contrast at the moment, and maybe I need to zoom out a little bit. I'm getting a little too. Um, so a lot of color testing right now. And just and perhaps this drawing is going to take me a lot longer because of just because I still don't know what I'm doing, and because I don't know what I'm doing, it's obviously there's going to be a a huge learning curve, right? It's not clear to me what things I need to be doing, like let me see, let me kind of try to explain this. Like what things are redundant to do and what things are not redundant. And I still don't know what things are not redundant with my portraits because it's still fairly new to me. And but now, at least with this, whew, you just went through you just if you, for those that were watching, you just saw like the whole gamut of emotions. You saw absolute terror, you saw sadness, you saw happiness and joy all in one. Like if you wonder why artists are like how artists are, that's what they are like. Oh my gosh, dude. you just saw all the feels in like in under 2 hours. I had all the feels, you know. But now all the feels in under 2 hours. Yeah. And I've seen people put the little color swatches on the side, and I've been doing that as like a heading, and that's helped me a lot. It's like no one told me to do that. I saw someone. I've been observing that happening a lot. Like why am I not doing that? Because I never really did it for like portraits because I never really need to. Because I always used typically if I needed a heading, I would color swap the portrait and then up either up the saturation or lower the saturation on how I felt was necessary. No, ow, but yeah. I'm just you just saw, as I said, you just saw all like a litany of like of things occur in such a short period of time. Oh yeah, we're not gonna need that layer anymore. Let's delete that. No, we'll keep it just in case. What if we like if I learn how to blur it maybe? But yeah, so you just saw all the emotions happen in such a short amount of time. Now it feels like a kind of like a new ball game right now, and so I'm kind of happy for it. But it took a good long while, no joke. What's like some color for like food? Okay, now it took me an hour, 2 hours to really dial in some of this what I'm what is like to really dial these colors in. It really did. So yeah, gosh, I wish it happened sooner, you know. I wish it did. I don't know if these are like um yeah, it's feeling a lot better with it in this last 40 minutes than I ever had with the even though it's not near where I want it to be, I'm feeling a lot better with it than before, you know, and that that helps. with the fact that I was struggling for the longest time. I think I only have one viewer watching right now, but you see, I was struggling so bad, and it was just a train wreck. The whole time was a train wreck, and it just took me forever to really to kind of understand what's going on. Because I like not that I'm necessarily stubborn, but like definitely I need to make a ton of mistakes, like more an abnormally large amount of mistakes for me to kind of like, well, you know, this. And I'm going to be honest with you though, like what's going to happen probably tomorrow if I decide to work on this again. What I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start drawing on my portrait again, but I'm going to start working on this for like 30 minutes a day and playing around with it. And it's going to take me probably a month to do the drawing simply because it's going to be one experimental piece where well, when I acquire new things, and I'm game for that. I don't have problems experimenting like that, although some people would, uh, because you need to know, understand mistakes and understand that are going to happen. And it just took me forever to get those mistakes out. And the problem is the problem with what I'm doing is like I'm doing the mistakes live, right? And that's not fun. I'm not gonna lie. Having mistakes happen live is not fun because it looks awful, right? It makes you feel bad about yourself. Like you don't want to do that during these shows, these little events. You know, you want to show the best of yourself, but really, um, uh, this is all new to me. This is new. Like every drawing is always something new. It's always something new. There's always something to kind of to improve upon. And, you know, and that's why you see in my digital drawings, you've seen like not significant improvements, but you're seeing some like maybe the representational feel doesn't really look like it's improved, but the aesthetic has changed differently. Um, Not throughout, but like things have been altered throughout like the whole process. So I've been constantly changing it, you know, and there's my time. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep working until, well, I got until 9:20, but I technically can keep working until, let's see, we're going to, I can keep working until, let's work on the hair. No, yeah, let's do that. Let's, uh, no, let's not work on the hair. Well, let's work on the hair. Let's work on the hair. Let's not. No, let's do that. Yeah, and just kind of get a feel for it. Now the brush here that I'm using is not like it's not what would you call it? It's it doesn't taper, so that's why it looks like this. Okay, things are looking up. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the face. Let's go on a new layer. Start a new layer on the face just a little bit. It's gonna separate things so things are more separate, I guess. I'm just gonna let's do something like this. Let's see. add a little bit more highlights now. Nothing too definite. Nothing. Nothing too definite. Yes, much better. Even though it's the brush strokes are a little bit more drawing than I'm 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 used to. It's still light years ahead. You know. I feel a lot more confident now. It's making me it's 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 uh it's it's good to see something finally kind of work with the drawing, because that morning I as you if you whoever's watching, I deleted the video, but you watched, it was awful. It was awful. Let me just articulate how awful it was. I kept erasing over and over again, and it didn't get better. It got worse and worse. And I was like, oh no. And right now I'm still feeling that way a little bit. I don't know. I just I'm feeling that way a little bit, but man, it was a sight to behold, to see. And it maybe it I had to go through all those mistakes. Like I literally had to go through all those mistakes to get to here, and it had to be done live to be like to me to think a little bit better, you know. So now I'm getting somewhere with the strokes. Now I got to decide how well blended do I want this stuff. I'm starting to like the unblended approach. Maybe I gotta find there's got to be a blending tool here that I don't know about, and if I could find it, I'll use it, because that'd be nice to kind of blend some of it and leave some of it hard edged. I don't have it at the moment, or maybe I gotta, yeah. It's just one of those things. I gotta find a blending tool. No, the thing that I gotta work with is I gotta think about. I got to keep playing around with this, and this is what I'm noticing right now, and I'll think about it later, is the value light to dark ratio. Where do I need to go? You know, like where does it go? When do I need to apply it? Where and what context? Right? So I got to play around with that. and it's going to take me some time again. But I'm on the right track. I really am. And I just got to keep playing with this. Maybe I need to move to another, like the ears. So I'll move around because I kind of been only working on the face. And if I move around to the, oops, I need to zoom in. Let's move to the ears now and kind of play around with the ears and try to do that. And we're just going to move. I think what we got to do is start moving around with this piece and really work with this. I mean, but yeah, what it took is me really kind of having a mistake after mistake, you know, to really me to start kind of seeing what needs to be done. And you just got to do, unfortunately, that's sometimes what I have to do that often. And it's a shame that I did it live, that's what had to be done in order for me to get here again. Because what this is kind of like a mixture between a drawing and a painting. And I need to, yeah. But I'm quite happy with it right now. What are your thoughts? Do you think it's better than it was? Do you? Comments. Hi, sir. Do you know Kim Jong-ji? Uh, who's Kim Jong-ji? I do not. No, I do not. Yeah, I do not. Did I reply to you? Anyways, I do not know that person. Is it like similar? Maybe they're. I should write that down. Kim. Is that an artist that I need to look up? I'm gonna write it down just in case. It's an artist I need to look up. But yeah. Going to go back to the drawing. This is much better. What do you think? Hey, what do you think? Is it better? Please. It's much better than before, right? I think so. Let's go back to Photoshop. So I'm not doing any blending yet. I'm just using the blending that's happening is through the color testing. Yeah, so oh gosh, I'm just I'm relieved now, but before I was having some I think I was going to have a panic attack actually. Like I was going to have a little bit of like oh no. Oh no. I am choking. I'm choking online, which is not the place you want to choke. Whatever. Wouldn't be the worst that's happened to me. But, you know, you want to. So I got to figure out. Let's. we're going to start a new layer, and this time it's going to be just the like the there we go. What's probably going to be a problem is these little swabs on the side are gonna uh, are gonna get lost in the layers, and I won't know where they're at. So I'm gonna and it's doing it again. So what was happening earlier is whenever how about this? I do a color test. Brush. It's doing this stuff again. So Photoshop's very, very particular about when you swap in and out. And for some odd reason, it's not recognizing. There we go. Like when I have it's not recognizing when I do certain things. You know? Stop that. So any like brushes that go over my pig, I'm gonna select the contour lines that I did, and I'm going to basically remove, erase it. And I think there's other things I can do that I just don't know about. I just don't know. Like I think there's a way to make like these cool textures on this. That I can make textures on the pig, but I just don't know yet. I don't know how to do that. Again, it's I'm trying my best, just experimenting and changing it up as I go. And not, man, it was so simple. The solution was so simple. I made it so hard. It was so simple. I'm not lying. What do pigs' hooves look like? Are they like pink? We're gonna make them green. Let's make them I don't know. I don't know what to make them. You know, I don't know what to make them. I'm gonna have to like look up what they kind of look like. Yeah, we got all this extra stuff coming off the character here. And I think at the end I'm gonna have to just tighten that up. But right now I'm just kind of, as I said, I think I'm just trying to really experiment with this and really see what needs to be done, you know? Okay, now let's see what time is it? Okay, 8:22. I think I'm gonna stop it at like maybe stop in 10. I don't know. But this is a much better like showing like outcome than before, because before was just a train wreck, as I said. You know, just everything was going wrong, and I was doing everything. I was thinking about it in a wrong fashion, I guess. Or maybe I was thinking about it correctly, but I just was executing wrong. I was executing wrong the whole time, and now I'm executing slightly better. Just slightly better. Hey, pig. Hey, piggy, pig, pig, pig. Yeah, it's getting somewhere. It's moving forward. I don't. It's gotta. Maybe I'm just thinking about like how tight do I want these lines? Ugh. Ugh. 4 more minutes. I'm feeling hella good. Yeah, that is so much better than what was happening prior. I was like, things were just now things are making a little bit more sense, but like I'm still kind of lost with what to do next, you know? So I'm just gonna keep doing this and then maybe something else will happen at the moment. But right now, I'm gonna keep doing this and play around with it, and then it may end up being like the whole painting is kind of like just like these transparent circle-ish brush strokes, and then that might be it. That might be what I do for this piece, you know? That's that might be the result. And I think if it looks like this in this manner, but a little bit more, a little bit better, I think I'll be at that will I'll be pleased with that. You know, like I'll be pleased with that being an outcome. I always like doing this. This reminds me of these little add little flecks of color around contour lines and such. It's like it's something I think I got it from Wayne Thiebaud. the painter. I always thought that I was kind of like a cool little thing to do, and I did like it. Just it's just I think it's a neat aesthetic, and so I try to do that every once in a while, and I've been doing it more and more, more and more. Just adding random like colors in places that there's no color, like there's none of that. Like I just think that's kind of a something to kind of play around with and just see what happens with it. Yeah, just got to keep chugging along, you know? I'm still trying to be really loose with my application of tones here. I don't know if I like that. Uh-oh, zooming in way too much. How to get out of there. I think I like just doing that at the moment right now. I'm comfortable with this, like adding just a little bit. Oops. It's comfortable doing that at the moment, so I gotta play around with that a little bit. Oh yeah, it's starting to feel much better. And that's just because I don't know, I don't, maybe things are starting to click. I don't know what, right? Maybe not. I'm feeling a little bit more free, less restrained after kind of having a bunch of like just errors after errors, you know? But yeah, that is, yeah, whew, that's much better. It's much better. I'm pleased with where it's going. Um, so now I learned a lot. I really did learn a lot today. I just it took me a fair amount of like time to kind of really understand what I'm doing a little bit. Now, if I look at it, I think I I could definitely work on the color some more. Like it's still like I am having trouble with the saturation of the colors, and I'm trying to figure out how I can not just add white and still have that cool effect, like have the highlight effects. So that's what I'm playing with right now. I do like where it's going. I did learn a lot. I don't know if I might just continue playing around with like the using that only brush at the moment because it's working at the moment, and I don't know if I want to hit the soft brush because I think I don't know. I might hit the soft brush in certain areas, like maybe around the eyes and the nose to kind of play around the tension there. Don't know, but I managed to salvage it after having 2 hours of like just garbage drawing. And as I've been talking about the whole time, is like I just had to mess up dramatically, mess up just constantly, just to kind of get to this point to like, all right, all right, here we are. So now we're somewhere, and it's better than before. And as I said, I still don't know what I'm doing. What I think I need to do is start just working on the other areas and see where that takes me. And then maybe what experience I kind of get when I work in the other areas, I'm going to try to apply to the main pig face, the pig's face, right? Uh, but I'm pleased with it and pleased with where I'm going to stop today. But it took me a while. It took me a while to kind of get to a point that is working. Um, yeah, I'm not too upset with it now, but it's still there's more to be desired, and I wish it part of it is my lack of knowledge is limiting me. So part of it, like I'm a pretty decent draftsman, pretty good at value and such, but like my lack of knowledge on the program, I think, is inhibiting me a little bit. But I think also it's my lack of abilities to as an artist too. So you just got to get better, right? You know, got a whole lot of work to do. But thank you again. I'm glad I tried it again. You know, after sitting down, walking away for like 5, 10 minutes, I came back saying, "Oh, I have all this extra time. Let's let's bring it back in." I'm gonna give a brief look and yeah. So I made a ton of layers, but yeah, it's looking up. Again, thank you. I appreciate your time. Have a wonderful day. Pearson out.